Yeah. So sound circulates a bit in this end for me, but I think I manage. If you can hear me correctly.
We hear you really well.
Yes. Hello, Laura. Servus, hello also. You must be there somewhere. Yes, I can see you waving your hand. And thank you, Laura, also for collaborating in this project. We had this as an installation person. I think I just want to make 4 points for the kind of discussion you are having now in the crowd about these new publishing platforms for digital literature and poetry. And first maybe tell a little bit about content of Antikythera. So Rasmus has an iPad with him, so you can maybe at some point try out it, because I think it's very important to think of the poetry as a tactile experience. So that the words and lines change in your hand as you travel through a choral narrative of multiple poetry story worlds. So for example, in Antikythera, this idea of a story world, that there is a simultaneous time and space of European cultural history presented in one application that you can touch. It has the Zeppelin letters from the Hindenburg, which tells about Jan Adele on the Hindenburg's last journey from Berlin to New York. And the Lapras, it's the Minotaur myth, which and the story of Ariadne, which is put to the Treblinka extermination camp. While the witch in Norway, Finnmark, tells the 17th century witch hunt from Norway, where actually Saila is at the moment. So it's a very nice, because we have this synchronicity that Saila is now presenting Antikythera in Oslo Poetry Festival, while we are presenting with Rasmus over here. But this idea that the same theme is expressed throughout the European centuries, from Berlin to New York, to Treblinka, to Finnmark, and ancient Greece. So we are kind of covering also medieval myth and the Empress Sissy's, the Austria's Empress story. So all these 32 themes in various spatial and time locations are all in this one poetry collection. So each wheel is a different story world. I think in the end of my presentation, if you want, I could read a few English translations we already have, for example, from the Finnmark Beach collection. So for poets and writers, to go to my first generic point, I think what is exciting in this platform is that it puts a weight point on choice. It's an existentialist medium. It depends on what point of view you choose and how you travel through thematic linkages of the thing. The other thing is, I think, the generative nature, that even though Saila has written the poems for various mechanics that change the poems, so that every poem is different every time you meet it again, I think it is about generative nature of this medium, that every reader kind of recreates a new path. So it's a medium of choice, it's a medium of chance, because there is a generative nature of the literature and poetry. It's the medium of choral narrative, that simultaneously you are sharing many viewpoints, from Adele's journey to a witch in Norway, to an empress in Austria, to a victim of extermination in Treblinka, and they are kind of singing together at the same time. I think the fourth important point in this as a literature publication platform is, of course, that it's a global medium. So in this choral work, for example, in Antikythera, you can share to Facebook lines that you find important and they go with an image. So you can start sharing your own literature experience while you are having it. Now, for us as content creators, whether in publishing houses or in digital media, I think it's roughly interesting to know that in the world, we have now about 300 million tablets worldwide. And 90% use this in English language. So imagine if a poet can just have 1% of this potential audience. It already means 3 million sales, which you can't ever get in book publishing. So it's a highly interesting platform that offers all these kind of new interpretative potentialities. And so after telling these points, I'd like to just conclude reading a little bit Juhani Lindholm's translation of the witch poem in the collection from the Finnmark. And I will also let you know that if you get interested, with Saila we are looking for foreign publishers for the work so that they will publish it in English or German or other language on the local iPads. But I conclude with Saila's words, who was really the mother of Antikythera and did the whole interactive dramaturgy for the work. I just directed the team to kind of realize the work. So this is from the Antikythera Witch Wheel collection from Finnmark. You never know who someone is, not your friend, not even your child. A white ball kicks you in the eye, the navel of the day. The sea is hot and gentle. A gilded ship glides into the harbor, the street windy and deserted, its gaping mouth waiting. A few spirits on the flowering field, Simpsons clouds. An abandoned movie theater, a musty curtain, seagulls. As a child, I drew homes for small animals in a hole in a tree. They always had it so nice and warm, their small fireplaces and chimneys, even though it rained outside and the forest was filled with sorrow. Now, this verse from the witch poem, the last two lines change constantly from 3 lines in the database, which includes hundreds. Rasmus probably remembers the numbers. But the last 2 lines can be any 200 other lines. So, and these also become kind of a daily advice that every time you open Antikythera, you get 2 lines of verse, which are always personal and dependent on the time of the year of your reading. So the poem collection is not only organized by your own touch, but also by astronomical time. So the various lines come depending on moon phase and the time of the year. So for example, in New Year's you get special poems, and in Christmas and in the midsummer and so forth. But so thank you for your attention, and I think we can now have discussion and questions to Rasmus and me.
Thank you.